Magandang araw, ako po si Shai Advincula-Antonio at ako po ang director ng Tembong. So yung Tembong, tungkol siya sa isang Tiboliman, pangalan niya si Egif, na recently ay namatayan ng nanay. So nung namatay yung nanay niya, while he's grieving, magkakaroon siya ng mga panaginip na magpapakita yung isang Abaka goddess na si Fudalu. So sa mga panaginip niya, pinapakita ni Fudalu yung mga patterns through nature at yung mga patterns na yun ang magko-compel sa kanya to weave. Pero sa kultura ng mga Tiboli kasi, mga babae lang yung pwedeng mag-weave ng sacred cloth nila na tinatawag na tinalak. So dahil sa dreams na to, si Egif na isang Tiboli man ay magbe-break basically ng cultural norms ng mga Tiboli, which is to weave a sacred cloth na dapat mga babae lang yung nag-weave. So kaya narrative kasi yung kwento ng mga Tiboli at dream weaving, habang kinukwento ko siya sa mga kakilala, medyo mahirap siya to grasp. So yung mga Tiboli, indigenous peoples sila ng Pilipinas, pero hindi pa rin lahat ng Pilipino ay nakakaalam ng kwento nila. So kaya ako napili yung narrative kasi isa ito sa mga pinaka-accessible na form of storytelling na para ma-share yung kwento, yung mahirap i-retell na kwento ng mga Tiboli. At ang narrative din, ito din kasi yung isa sa form of storytelling na mas familiar ako kung paano ko siya gamitin. So, yung mga Tiboli, situated sila sa Lake Cebu, South Cotabato. At ako ay pinanganak at lumaki din sa South Cotabato. So, growing up, meron kaming tinatawag na Tinalak Festival. Yun yung sacred cloth. So, every year, every July, we would celebrate the sacred cloth. But only for its commercial purposes. Basically, hindi natin nadedefine yung struggles ng indigenous peoples na gumagawa nitong tinalak. At yung tatay ko, he used to work for the tourism department of our province. Tapos, maliit pa lang ako, dinadala niya na ako sa mga Tiboli community sa Lake Cebu. Pinapakita kung gaano nila kadanas yung hirap. So, magkakaroon siya ng a couple of nights, immersing with them. He would bring me with them and I would understand. He would tell us stories. Doon ko na-realize na, ibang-iba siya, the way we present Tibolis to the tourists versus kapag andun ka at kasama nila. Yan, makikita mong parang sobrang celebrated sila for their design, for their craft, pero bakit sobrang walang accessibility yung mga tao na to sa education, to work. Kaya napapaisip din ako na parang bakit every year ginagawa nating symbol of our province na magkaroon ng Tinalak Festival, pero yung mga tao mismo naghahabi nito, hirap sa buhay. So, paano nangyari yun? Bakit na-commercialize ng malala yung Tinalak cloth kung sacred pala ito? Siguro ang gustong sabihin ng pelikula ay maybe it's time to revisit kung paano natin tinitignan yung indigenous peoples natin. Kasi madalas na exoticize sila because of what they weave, how they look. Pero hindi natin tinitignan yung experiences or struggles nila as peoples. So, for example, itong tinalak na isa siyang tela na before ginagamit lang nila sa mga ritual, mga babae lang yung pwedeng humawak. Pero dahil nga ay lumala yung commercialismo sa South Cotabato, biglang naging in demand itong tinalak at nawala yung sanctity ng cloth na to. So, wala namang magagawa yung mga Tiboli based sa mga nakausap ko during my research kasi if they will not succumb to commercialization, how will they provide food to their table when their lands are being grabbed at pinagbabawalan sila basically magtrabaho dahil wala din namang access to education because of poverty na rin dahil sa mismong community nila. So prior to flying my entire crew to Lake Cebu, South Cotabato, I already did several visits and consultations with the people that were shooting. So itong Tiboli people na to, they are actually the descendants of the last dreamweaver of South Cotabato, of Lake Cebu. So the questions that I asked them were carefully crafted to, of course, respect what they're doing, what they're going through. Tsaka dahil nga yung lengguwahe na ginagamit ko ay Hiligaynon or Ilonggo, may kasama rin akong marunong magsalita ng Tiboli. So if hindi nila kayang i-express in Hiligaynon or Ilonggo, mas kaya nilang i-express sa sarili nilang lengguwahe, wala kaming barrier doon dahil nga meron naman kaming kasamang translator. So bukod doon, sa visits namin, we stayed with them the whole day. Tinignan namin kung paano yung buhay nila, how their life actually really evolved with tourism, na kung wala yung tourism, hirap din sila to find any means kasi nga nasa tuktok sila ng bundok eh. So it's really hard to find a job there. And especially when the lands around the mountain are owned by these giant corporations, mining corporations, that they can't really get in. So ayun, so mas naiintindihan ko, mas pinaunawa nila sa akin na this is why we are repeating patterns na hindi naman dapat through weaving, kasi if they don't, they won't be able to provide food on their table. So merong I think merong tamang balance nung ginagawa namin yung Tembong. May tamang balance sa pagbibigay ng atensyon sa lahat ng aspeto. So for example, for the actors, it was a conscious choice to get non-actors, specifically getting Tiboli actors, dahil bilang director, gusto ko maging collaborative with everyone on set, especially the actors. I want the actors to, kumbaga, work hand in hand with me kung paano ikwento yung kwento nila, kasi nga yung actors ay Tiboli din mismo. Tsaka ayoko ding, for the sake of mas maintindihan ng karamihan, ay gawing Tagalog yung language or Filipino yung language na gagamitin sa script dahil Tiboli sila, bakit sila nagtatagalog or nagfi-Filipino? Kasi sa ilang beses na pumunta ako ng Lake Cebu, hindi naman nagtatagalog talaga yung mga tao doon. The main language that they would use is either Bisaya, Hiligaynon, or their language, Tiboli. And then for the cinematography, it was also a conscious choice to use natural light dahil yung kwento gusto namin i-ground to reality kapag nasa waking life tayo ni Egif, para mas makita natin yung talon when we're in his dream life, basically. And then, with my cinematographer, Ron, and production designer, si Maps Arsiga, napagdesisyonan din namin na we will use nature not as a background, but actually as a foreground. And you'll see that as we go into the dreams ni Egif, na makikita natin yung nature is actually what compels him to weave, kasi doon niya makikita yung mga patterns na kailangan niyang i-weave into tinalak. And for the editing, as you can see, there's some inverted shots, may repeating shots, so very psychedelic siya. That decision came into post na. So when we were shooting, wala pa yun. Hindi pa namin yun na-decide. So we were thinking, how can we emulate weaving into cinema? So one thing that we thought about is through editing. Kasi yung editing, hinahabi mo yung shots mo eh, di ba? Yung kwento eh. So in a way, sa pag-edit namin ng mga dreamlike sequences, na we weave na din yung kwento into how we imagined it later to be. So one thing that I have discussed with my cinematographer is to shoot it as close as possible to reality. And when you go there, it's really beautiful. Lake Cebu is really beautiful. So how else can we show the struggles of these people kung maganda yung lugar? So that's what I said. Sa editing na siya pumasok. How can we unsettle our audiences? Kaya nagkaroon ng inverted shots, repeated shots, parang psychedelic, dreamlike, na parang, oh, bakit ganito? Bakit ganito yung nangyayari? Bakit upturn? So it's very much like the realities of the Tibolis up there in the mountains na upturn na rin. So, syempre, ang pinaka-major ay finances. So bilang estudyante, sobrang hirap maghanap ng sponsor bilang wala ka pa namang napapatunayan sa mundong to. So sino ka bang filmmaker ka? Wala ka, estudyante ka pa lang eh. So sobrang laking pasalamat ko dahil noong 2018 when I was doing the film Tembong, I got the grant from Canon, yung Canon Filmmaker Grant. So nagbibigay sila ng I think 2 per year sa graduating students ng UP Film. So nakakuha ako ng grant and they were able able to loan us a camera. C100 lang yung gamit namin nun for 5 days that we took to Lake Cebu. Bukod dun, wala na kaming ibang fancy equipment. We relied on something what we call God is my gaffer. Basically, yun yung tawag namin kapag natural light lang, wala kang malalaking ilaw, wala kang ganitong setup. So mas mahirap yun, mas challenging yun kasi even with exterior and interior, it's really hard to control light. So you have to wait for the perfect timing, kailan tatama yung ilaw, and we have to adjust to that. So, ayun, another challenge I think would be skeletal crew lang kami. So there were only like 5 of us shooting, and I had my nephews and nieces, so maliliit pa sila, who were helping our production designer mount the entire set. And because my crew could not speak their language, parang nagsa-sign language sila sa mga tao dun eh. But we were able to finish it. And another thing was that we were shooting non-actors, and these non-actors, they don't really work with the hours that we work here in film. So we had to respect that. If they wake up at 9, we go there by 10. If they end their day at 6, we end at 5. So, yun, we had to respect their boundaries kasi una sa lahat, kami ay nakikiusap lang naman kung pwede namin i-retell yung kwento nila. So I learned several things making Tembong. One is that you don't need the fanciest equipment to shoot your film. So what you need is sincerity. Sincerity to your work. So lagi at lagi mong babalikan dapat, kanino mo to ginagawa, bakit mo ginagawa. So kapag nakaangkla ka doon, matatapos mo yung ginagawa mo na may puso. So yun, hold on to that honesty and you will finish your film proudly. Ako po si Shai Advincula-Antonio at ito ang aking maikling pelikula.
Halina ka mo. Basit makitaan ba kita nga duwa? Halina ka mo.
Ani dinalang ni nama ini kuma itu ni baiman aminan neleja po ani dinalang kadang lembang ani je hulung mak kenala bahasa won Fudalu pun ni kerungan Fudalu dengan kali ni kuma duni ni kemni ni talu man bu chinu su dan kesu du bu bai tnogo dan ketogo du bu nulo mloko
Egif mo ano ka legon la stone te gunung katno mu bele ma wan safi fet di tu kret logi ko tu lo di tu ngat mulek spiritu
Yun
ye
na, lamuot na. Bunuli ko yun din eh.
benih sini ko. Uwan sa taon na benih do.
Imbuot na. Sige mo go, kamatang delikado.
Sa idalom sang kahoy nga lawaan, may gugmata nga ginsumpaan. Sa imo ko ginhatag ang singsing nga bulawan, agud magsilbi nga handumanan.
Ang delikado na sa inyo, maguto po sa ito. Mantulaan gitungo, mantulaan may tungo sa nilo. Na, mantula pakain, siya rin kanala, pakain mo, tuloy, para kanala.
Buwan tang babayo o tao tang bebe.
Na, gaman mo ito, turo-kurungan, kaado turo-turo mawado.
Talanado hindi. Pandigmaan sa mga matay.
Halina ka mo. Basi makitaan ba kita nga duwa?
Thank you.